We will now learn about the Unit 5 of Financial Institutions and Markets. So, Unit 5 of Financial Institutions and Markets talks about equity market. So, we have seen in the unit number 4 that is about the debt market. So, debt is the outsiders funds, equity is the owners funds. So, here we will learn in this chapter number 5 about equity market. Okay. So now when it comes to, I'll brief you about the total capital. So capital consists of, capital is the money required for business. Now the money that is required for the business, how you get is, you get it in two ways. One is in the form of debt, other one is in the form of equity. Debt is outsiders funds, equity is the owners funds. Now here this equity capital, how the companies will get? If it is a small type of business, small business, the owner out of his money, the money that is there with them, the savings which is there with him, he will start the business. That is his own capital. Then we call it as equity, right? So if he requires more capital, he will not be having much money with him. So if he requires more capital to expand the scale of his business, then he has to go to the outsiders, maybe to the bank or other people, and should get the money. That is called as debt. Equity is his own capital and the outsiders funds is debt. Now, chapter number 4 talks about the debt capital, how the debt is raised from the market, right? So, that we have seen in the chapter number 4. Now, chapter number 5 talks about equity. So, equity is owners' funds. Now, in the example which I have talked about in the before, that is with respect to small business. When your business is very small, then usually how it happens is the scale of operations will be also be very small. So you can use your money what is there with you, or your savings that you had made when you are doing some job, or you can also request your family members to contribute capital for your business. That is called as an equity capital when it comes to the scale of business is very small. Imagine if it's a very big company. So the big company, how it is how the equity capital will be there to the big company. So equity capital to the big company, how it gets is by issuing equity shares. Equity shares to more number of people. Shares is having a right in that particular business, having a right in the total capital, then it's called as a equity share. Equity means equal, right? So the everyone is having an equal share to the extent of money contributed by the investors. Okay, equity, equal share. I have an equal right. I have a right, you have a right, other people will also have right. So some people will have more right because their contribution of equity capital will be more. Some people will have less right. Some people only have few equity shares. Their right in the business will be small. Right on the capital as well as the profits that is generated out of the capital. That's called as equity. Now here we will see in this particular chapter number 5, what is the meaning of equity? And then we will also see how the equity market has been developed in a country like India. So when you observe the 20, 30 years before, how the market is and now how it is, you will be shocked to know the equity market in India has grown leaps and bounds. So it has grown drastically, in fact. So that you can know by looking at the numbers, by looking at indexes, BSC index, NSE index, you will be knowing about how the market has grown. And also this you can also know by looking at the trading volume and in value. Okay, so trading volume talks about number of shares which is bought and sold daily. Trading value talks about in monetary terms, total value of buy and sell of the securities, that is called as trading value. So trading volume, value, market capitalization is total stocks into their market price. So all the 3000 companies which are there listed in BSC, NSE, and the number of shares that is available for trading into the market price of each particular share. So then you will get the market capitalization. So you can observe that equity market in India has grown leaps and bounds. How you can know? The statistics tells about it. What is the statistics? One is the trading volume, the trading value, and the market capitalization. Anyway, in fact, so when you compared with 20 years before liberalization, globalization, or maybe in the beginning of 2000. Since then, the market now, how it is it has grown very, very big. What is the reasons why this particular development or growth is there in the equity market that we will see? And when we'll also talk about the primary market and secondary market. Primary market for capital and secondary market for capital. Primary is first time. Secondary is after issuing the shares. When you buy and sell that particular shares in the market, we say it is called as secondary market. So what is the primary market and what is IPO, FPO? IPO stands for initial public offering. So companies, when they usually whenever the company for the first time when they go for a public issue, that is inviting the public to subscribe the shares of the company, and that market we call it as IPO, initial public offering. There are certain methods that is followed by the companies when they are issuing the when they are going for an IPO. So that is book building process and fixed rate approach that we will see. And then we have FPO, follow on public offer, whenever the company needs more additional capital. So already the company has went for IPO and further it requires more capital, then it can go for follow on public offer, that also we'll see. And then we'll also see the role of merchant bankers. Merchant bankers, we have seen what is these merchant bankers, the role of the merchant bankers in the IPO, that we will see now, right? So merchant bankers plays a very, very important role in fixing the price. So we will be now focusing in this particular chapter about the merchant bankers, how they help these particular companies which are going for IPO to fix the price of the share. So that is red herring prospectus. And then we will also talk about sweet equity employee stock option program, that is ESOP. So and we'll also talk about rights issue. So this is given for us in the chapter number 5. And then main important part is secondary market. What is secondary market? A stock market like NSE, BSE, how it functions. And we'll also talk about the SEBI role. SEBI, Securities Exchange Board of India, it's a regulatory body to control and to control the growth and momentum of the secondary market. So for a good primary market, we need effective secondary market. So how these two markets are interlinked? And what is the role of SEBI to have an effective secondary market so that primary market in India has to be very, very effective? Overall, if this particular primary and secondary market, if its functioning is very good and smooth, naturally the companies require whatever the capital for their business operations, that capital they can get it. So primary market and secondary market comes under the capital market. Capital market for long-term funds. So market for short-term funds is about money market that we have seen in chapter number 3. So market for short-term funds is that they get it from the money market. And this primary market and secondary market comes under capital for long-term funds, right? So long-term funds is for a long period of time. These funds will be utilized by the company, which they get it as a capital for a long period of time. That's the meaning of capital for long-term funds. So we'll learn about primary market, we'll learn about the secondary market and the growth of stock exchanges. We'll also see about the recent developments in the stock market in a country like India, and then we will also see about security, SEBI. SEBI, its functions as a regulator, that we'll see. So this is in a nutshell about the unit number 5, that is of the financial institutions and market.